Peace, my family, and we're back to all those coming out of that good cocoon for the first time. Welcome. This your girl, the butterfly. We about to take off. Let's fly. Just want to send you all the good healing energy your way. Peace, love, happiness, harmony, and abundance. Hope you guys are out there keeping your mind right in that good mind. How y'all feeling? Hope you guys most definitely moving on up, family, in your higher nature, and most definitely cleansing, because you know what's up. You gotta cleanse. That's right. Cleansing the laws. I came here today to read. This is our master teacher's book called The Mind Scroll. And this right here will certainly help you on this good journey to get your mind right with more clarity of the right knowledge. Alright? So, let's get to it. This is scroll 15, and it's called The Creator. 19 times 10 equals 190, right? So, again, this right here will certainly help ya. So, let's get it going, right? And it reads, Lo, look. If someone were to ask you why God, right, the Creator is one, he or she might answer that if there was a creator, right, a God for this incident on earth, right, one could not always design his creation like the other. Neither would they go by the same principles. So we have a creator from many creators that gave you will. In order for one to preside, it will be necessary for the other to perish in this state or step down of his leadership, making him a supreme, the King of Kings, the angel over all angels, he who appointed the archangelic beings, the El Malakat. God is the supreme. The will of one or the other must manifest the wishes of both, or neither. One would not be possible. And this would be a sign of frustration. And obviously, God, who is responsible for the intricate creation of all things of this cycle of refilling and replenishing the earth, is beyond frustration. And God is alone in his power as God. Only the all is the absolute. Your Allah, Rab, Horus, On, Jehovah, Davos, Buddha, Brahma, Confucius, Java, Theos, Tammuz, Bel, Adonai, Osiris, Vesh, Hanun, and all the others are in all. As it states, the universe is a very measured place where everything fits within its particular pattern, and in design of all things is an obvious unity that cannot be possible if more than one creator took responsibility for all creation. One moment, family. Alright now. Where was I? Okay. Each creator is assigned by the all to be the creator or creators, with one head as the angels, with one identity about them all. For there is life beyond Earth. Did y'all know? Oh, yeah. There is life beyond Earth, and new forms being discovered every day. In the Noble Quran 233, it states, in part, it states, don't make for him any partners. In Exodus 23 and Noble Quran 363, 1711, or you say, you shall have no other gods before me. Exodus 23 and Noble Quran 1150, I am a jealous God. Exodus 34:14, that means there is more than one, and you're not to use but one. If you are a Muslim, you are to use Allah or Rab. If you are a Hebrew, Israelite, or Jew, you use Yahweh, Elohim, Adonai, or Hashim. And if you are a Buddhist, you use Buddha. As one entity, you are in all, right? All religions and their one God each are in the all. Therefore, all sincere, spiritual, and righteous people know with strong conviction the Creator is power and has no associates in that power. So he is called the most powerful. And the Noble Quran 2239, the most gracious, the most merciful. Noble Quran 1:3, to be the most of anything means there is more than one. According to Muhammadans, they say Allah God is the greatest. The Noble Quran 29:45, then he is greater than others like himself. Everything inside of all is a servant, has no equal, no consorts, no partners. Alright? Because all is in the all. You cannot take from it, right? You cannot add to it. All has neither beginning nor end. All is. All has always existed, okay? And will exist, okay? Because all is outside of existence, alright? All exists in all. The out is outside time, for time exists in all. All did not begin. All cannot end. God is the beginning and the ending, the Alpha and Omega. Revelation 1:8, Revelation 1:8, 1:11, 21:6, 22:13. If you are the beginning, right, then you have a beginning, and if you are the ending, then you have an ending. Then you have an ending. All is without beginning or ending, right? The originator of things we see and do not see. The breath that sustains all creation, presence in all. God is the only reality. And he too is in all. Everything else is merely an illusion. Let me repeat that one more time. Everything else is an illusion. He is one. Has been the cry of every news bearer and prophets. For a human had the tendency to stray from God's guidance, our Heavenly Father and seek the protection of those that could neither help nor harm them. The appointed one who appointed and anointed Jesus, the Messiah of the New Testament, Tammuz of the ancient Sumer, who is Horus of ancient Egypt. In the depth of ignorance and backwardness, people sought help from objects made by their own hands. In ancient Egypt, Kahum, or Kahanum, creator of the Ka, that yields the Ba, and the Aka. A human wanted to reduce the creator to his or her own level. But how could an object or a human be responsible for all creation? Question. Just think about it. So to assert that human was responsible, or that the universe accidentally came into being, thrives on the absence of logic and abundance of ignorance. God the fashioner gave electric charge. God the fashioner gave electric charge to the protons and the electrons. Designed the minute solar system of the atom like the one in which we live, right? 76 trillion years ago. Did y'all hear that? 76 trillion years ago. Gave light its speed 186,272 feet per second. Put a barrier around sound 1,100 feet per second. Bless the sun with enough mass to create the gravitation that helps, the gravitation that keeps the heavenly bodies of this solar system orbiting properly. God is the fashioner. There's a reason why 75% of the planet Earth and 70% of the human body contains or consists of water. The Creator put that balance there. Can you begin to understand it? Question. When the oceans of the world all come rushing towards the shore, who synchronized it? Question. If the world's waters waves were to cease moving, how would the fish breathe? Question. God the fashioner started to water moving, and it has yet to stop on its journey home. Water is always moving towards a larger mass of water. I could tell you something that would be real fascinating, but it is very simple. One thing that's unique, water is unique, right? Let me tell you something unique about water, right? Water is a symbol of purification, and it is in the atmosphere, right? You can't see its water vapor, but it goes from what is considered invisible or a vapor to a liquid, right? To a solid, to ice, to hot ice, and to gas. Ask yourself, what makes up water? Question. You're trying to think of an answer, right? In order to look like you know something, you forgot I said I wanted to tell you something. You see, it is the obvious, right? The obvious abstract. Water is the symbol of preservation. It's unseen. You can't. don't see it, right? You don't see it. Then there's vapor, stream, and condensation, or frozen, or hot ice. Where did it come from, right? Where did it come from? And where is it going? Question. The mystery of water is that it's always going home to water. Water never stays anywhere where water is not. If I put it on the ground, it will evaporate and seep into the ground. Seeking out or seeping, it is always going home to water. It is pumping out of the source. Look at it in a test tube. Leave it for 100 years. It will consistently be on the move, right? But it will eventually go back home to water. The molecules turned inside out. Thus, the resting soul of a human being is water. Your brain, the blood of the breathing, the digestive system, the circulatory system, the respiratory system, the urine, the light, the pulse, the blood. This is the restlessness of the human being. You see, there's only one real thing in existence. You know what that is? That's change. And the only thing consistently changing is water. And where is the home of water? Question. I told you at the beginning, home is the vicious cycle, and water is pumping out of the source, looking for the source of water. You used to know these things, right? Did y'all know this? You used to know these things when you had the Bartholin gland, your higher senses. You knew these facts. And this just shows how out of touch you all are, right? The Bartholin gland resided inside the hippocampus area of the brain, which is a cavity of the cerebellum. The cerebellum is located at the lower part of the brain, and it is attached to the brain stem. The Bartholin gland has connection with the appendix and the tonsils. The hippocampus is the tissue which held the Bartholin gland, and when it was once inside of Atom's Cadman Zycar, the grandfather of Enos' brain, although conscious perception does not occur in the cerebellum, this is the part of the brain that is responsible for hallucinations, right? Also, cerebellum, the reactions and the unconscious. Meaning you are unaware that it happened, right? And that's why even though the Bartholin gland is missing, portions of the gland were left on the nerve endings, because total removal would have damaged the nerve. From the cerebellum, you had 7 senses. You have see, feel, hear, taste, smell, clairvoyance, and telepathy. The Holy Tablets, chapter 7, tablet 1, verses 10 through 13, says, originally you had what was called netatim, the 7 senses that could activate 7 higher senses, and even higher until you ascend back into divinity. You are trapped by one sense, and that is touch, which is multiplied by deception to 5. Humans do not have the 4 higher senses, which are the mind, perception, the intuition, right? And now some people are getting that back, right? But mental communication, telepathy, right? Objects reading, psychometry, clear sight, see in other dimensions, right? Clairvoyance. But with the removal of your Bartholin gland, you lost access to the heavenly host. Let me repeat that one more time. But with the removal of the Parthian gland, you lost access to the heavenly host. Then you became humans, right? Or mortals, right? An Enocyte, a human being, is a forgetful being, right? Amnesia, a forgetful being, which is what happened when the Parthian gland was removed. When you get back your power, right? When you get back your power, we have to show you how to use it, but we will have to control it, right? You have to prove your sincerity before it's returned to you, otherwise you may misuse it. The Parthian gland will be reinserted into those beings or those persons, right, worthy of returning home when the Messiah comes for them. August 12, 2003 AD to June 26, 2030 AD. On May 5th, 2000 AD, there was an alignment on planets in this solar system, right? There was an alignment of planets in this solar system, and the weather effects were felt in the world, right? Over. The Holy Tablets, chapter 1. When this gland is reinserted, right, it will not be in the hippocampus area of the brain this time, but in the lower chin, referred to as the submental area, meaning the sub or lower or mental, that which reacts to the mind. Remember, Enocyte human beings, God is himself, right? And if he will, he could destroy this entire galaxy in a moment. And if he wills, recreate it in an instant. Nothing is too difficult for him, for this has always happened. An individual should observe and stand at awe by the many works and the many wonders, right, that God has fashioned, right? And because the heavenly hosts were procreated, he or she has to acknowledge their greatness. A human being has to submit to the supremacy of the ones who procreated them, right? And it goes on to say, Sir Isaac Newton, an English mathematician and scientist, had a skillful mechanic who made him a miniature replica of this solar system. With the balls representing the planets geared together, or clogs and bolts, right? So as the move and the harmony with correct. Later, Newton was visited by a scientist friend who did not believe in the awe. Their conversation is related in the Minnesota technology. One day, as Newton sat reading in his study with his mechanism on a large table near him, his friend stepped in, scientist that he or she was, and he or she recognized at a glance what was before him. Stepping up to it, he or she slowly turned and crouched, and with undisguised admiration, watched the heavenly bodies all move in their speed, in their orbit, standing off few feet. He or she examined, my, what exquisite thing this is. Who made it? Without looking up from his book, Newton answered, nobody. Quickly turning to Newton, friend, evidently you did not understand the question, my question. I asked, who made this question? Looking now, Newton suddenly answered that nobody made it, but that the irrigation of the matter, much admired, just happened to, assume the form it was in. But the astonishment replied with some heat, You must think I am a fool, right? Of course, somebody made it, and he or she is a genius. And I'd like to know who she is, or he or she is. Laying his book aside, Newton aroused and laid a hand on his friend's shoulder. This thing is but a weak elimination of a much greater system whose laws you know nothing about, and I'm unable to convey that this mere toy is without a designer or maker, yet you profess to believe that the original from which the design is taken has come into being without either designer nor maker, right? Now tell me, by the sort of reasoning do you reach such a conclusion, right? Echo, we must echo the word of all the news bearers, right? Let me repeat that one more time. Echo the word of all the news bearers, the sages, the wise men, the astronomers, the saints. La Eloah El Kalum. Nothing would exist except by the way of the all. Mind your mind for the jewels of yourself. Right now. So, that is the end of this scroll. So I'm going to leave it at that for now, family. Now, if you would like to check this out yourself, which is so much encouraged for you to do so, because it is on the channel just for you. Check it out, because you're going to need it on your self-study on this good journey within, and knowing thyself, and so much more about these boundless universes and this planet that you live on, right? And who you are. Yeah, you better know it. Alright, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Again, family, I want y'all all to know that you are loved so much beyond this world. Oh yeah. And in it. If you're gonna spread that love, family, one to another, better do it. I'm just telling y'all, love frequency is where it's at. It's no force. Do what you do, but I'm just saying it's for the better and good. Free, our master teacher, Dr. Malachi York L. Peace, shalom, our Shug divine love, family, and Wadu. And it's all love.